Hey everyone, I'm Lizzie and this is Lizzie Reads and welcome to my April wrap up. This shouldn't be too late because I'm filming this on the 1st of May and hopefully I'm going to put it up on the 1st of May because this week I'm trying to do a little bit more, I don't want to say full upload every day, but at least I want to get one up every weekday because I finish uni and I've got a bit of free time where I'm just sort of reading, lounging, doing tidying, cleaning, sorting my life out, and I really want to focus on getting some videos out that I've really wanted to film for a while. So there's going to be a few tags, there's going to be a haul because I've treated myself since I finished uni, and a few other bits to come. But I'm also vlogging this week because I am participating in the One readathon to find them all, which I will link down below. I think it's don't have a degree in readings, first time doing this readathon, but I'll link her channel and her announcement video down below, and let's get into the video. It's really weird saying that because that's like what everyone says. Just to start, I read 11 books this month. 4 of those were graphic novels, literally yesterday. 2 of them are rereads, and I listened to 2 of those on full audio, and then another 2 I listened part audio and part read the book. So I'll start with quite a few of them I don't have with me, but I'll let this sort of disperse without. First of all, I read The F Word by Lily Pebbles, which she's a YouTuber, sort of like, she started beauty but now she's more lifestyle. I'll link her channel down below. I don't know if you've seen it if you're not into beauty and lifestyle YouTube content, but I've followed her for a really long time and I really like her channel. She's one of my favourites because she's really sort of like open and honest, and she wrote a book about female friendships, and I liked it, I enjoyed it, but I only gave it 3 stars because it was very anecdotal, and I was sort of expecting a lot of anecdotes, but it was a lot of anecdotes. There was less general sort of like non-fiction commentary than there was academic stuff. So I gave it 3 stars, which is quite low for me actually. I'm usually 4 or 5. But I think I'm glad I've got it. I'm glad I'm supporting her channel because I've watched her content from me. I've got so much advice from her channel. But yeah, so that's what I first read this month. Also, sorry if I sound a bit funny. I don't know if I sound funny. I've got a bit of a funny ear. I can't really hear properly out of one ear. I feel like a bit bunged up. Then second this month, I read Coraline. Well, I listened to Coraline by Neil Gaiman, which was narrated by Dawn French. It was amazing. I'm obsessed. I can't believe I waited this long to read it. I can't believe it. It was so good. Dawn French was so funny. The quippy comments that Coraline made were hilarious. If you don't know the plot, it's about a young girl called Coraline who moves into a new house and she's bored, and her parents don't want to sort of hang out and play with her, and they're busy doing adult stuff. And she finds a door and it goes into the exact same house. She walks into her house, except it's a darker, more twisted world with her parents. Her parents are there, but they have buttons for eyes. And there is something really creepy going on here that she doesn't quite understand. And it was amazing. I've loved most things I've read by Neil Gaiman so far. And I'm really excited to read the very few things that I've got left. Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really imaginative. And I gave that 5 stars as well. And then third, I read All That She Can See by Carrie Hope Fletcher, and as you can see, I have post-it note the hell out of this. I picked this up a long time ago, a few months ago, because I thought it might help me a little bit in my dissertation. I've handed that in now. My dissertation was sort of about food and magical realism and a few other things, and this is a magical realist novel, and well, I thought it was a magical realist novel. And it's very much about food. It's about a young woman called Cherry who can see people's, she calls them medlums, but they're people's bad and negative feelings as a physical manifestation. And she sort of bakes, she sells her baked goods in a bakery, and she gives people things that she knows will definitely make them feel better. And I really like Carrie Hope Fletcher. I love her stuff. There's a few YouTuber books in here. This is so crazy. I love her YouTube channel. I love what she's about. I'd love to see her on stage. I've heard she's very, very talented. And she seems to be like quite talented. She seems to be a good writer. It's just, it wasn't for me. And it was just so cheesy, some of it. It was so beyond cheesy. I could not deal with it. I couldn't cope. It was all these post-it notes of me saying this is too cheesy. This one here, and what gives her, she's like saying, oh, she needs to stop being so obsessive. Things like, I'm like, what gives you the right to make those kinds of decisions about other people's lives? Fair enough, making someone from sad to happy, or making someone from tired to awake, or depressed, trying to tackle someone's depression. But I think obsessiveness, like, that's a bit too near the line. Like, I don't know, I just didn't find it. In some of it, it was good for my dissertation, because it's good to have books that I didn't necessarily enjoy as well as ones that I did enjoy. And then I did power through it, because I thought, oh, it's an interesting story. I want to see where she takes it, what she takes in it. It wasn't terrible. It just, I don't know if it was for me, but then a lot of people didn't seem to like it on Goodreads. There was a bit towards the end where it turns into some dystopian take down the government style, not government, but an organisation style novel, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I was not a fan. I really like her stuff, but it just really wasn't for me. And where I'd read a lot of, because I read this like one of the last books for my dissertation. There was another book I read in April that I included a little briefly in my dissertation. I didn't like that one as well, because I'd read so many by this point. I know what I sort of was liking and looking for, so I think that's what made me a bit strict. God, who do I think I am? Then fourth, I read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. JK can do me no wrong in these books. I love them, I adore them. I'm always reading Harry Potter, guys. I'm sorry, I just can't let go. I've got nothing really to say. I read this part on audio, part physical. I enjoyed it. I loved it, always. The fourth one's where it starts to get really good for me. I think that's about one of my favourites. I haven't decided yet. Once I've done this reread, I'm definitely going to do the Harry Potter tag. You should watch. Also, a lot of these books I've just mentioned, I've spoken about in a reading vlog that I did. I'm trying to do reading vlogs. I hope you guys like them. I like filming them. I like doing the constant updates in the chat about what I'm reading. But yeah, so I'll link my reading vlogs. I'll do a reading vlog playlist. I'll link that down below so you can see what you enjoy. Then 5th this month, I listened to Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Never listened to this before. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was rough. It was rough, everyone. It was rough. I was crying. It was such a sad romance novel. I loved it so much. Basically, if you haven't heard of it before, or it's in the film, the trailer, any of that, it's about a young woman called Lou. And Louise Clark, she has lost her job. She hasn't done anything bad, don't worry. And she gets a job as a carer. More like, I'd say personal carer, so more attending to personal daytime needs, like making a cup of tea, and doing things like trying to keep up someone's mental well-being it's just so sad. And for a young man, I think he's can't remember how old he is. How old is he? He's older than she is, much older than she is. Maybe 10 years, 5 or 10 years older than he is. A young businessman who was hit by a car, and he's now paraplegic. I think that's the correct phrasing. Sorry if it was a few weeks ago that I read this. And I wasn't expecting it to live up to the hype, but it did. That's all I have to say. If you haven't read it and you're quite partial to a romance and you like a weeper, I was laying in bed on a Saturday night at home. I just listened to the last bit, and I was sobbing. So prepare the tissues. 6th this month was another book I read for my dissertation, just to get a final few last bits, called Chocolat by Joanne Harris. Now, this is also a magical realism novel, and in it, the main character, Vianne, I think I'm not doing too shabby at pronunciations, she has just set up in a little French town a little chocolatier, a little chocolate shop, and she gives people, she sort of has the ability to sort of read minds, sort of that sort of vein of things, and she can give them chocolates that they know, she knows that she knows that they like, because she's been inside their heads. And this novel was slightly interesting. It just wasn't what I was expecting. It was so, I don't know if it just hit me at the wrong time. I think I could really enjoy this, but I found it a bit slow. I found parts of it a bit boring. I found some of the perspectives, the other perspective of is he a vicar? I'm not sure if he's called a vicar in this sort of type of church, but I found some of it pretty boring. Not boring, but it just wasn't hitting the spot for me, and I think that's because I was forcing myself to read it, and I was enjoying the story, but there was just no connection. I don't know what it is with me this month, but I haven't got there wasn't a lot to it for me to really grasp onto. I think at one time or another, if I was going more slowly with it, I was taking more time with it, I might really, really get into it, but I can't tell you for certain. Then 7th this month, I read Lune by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Kaufman? I say this every time I talk about this book. I say that. I'm going to go Kaufman. And this is like a dossier of files. I'm sure you've all heard of it before if you watched a bit into YouTube where people like sort of this YA sci-fi. And it's about, on the island of Carenza, there's an attack. And it's like it's an illegal mining island. It's a planet. It's a fucking planet. Illegal mining planet. And it's attacked, and it's about the two main characters and the aftermath of that. It's a teenage YA. Why did I say teenage YA? It's YA. It's such an interesting format. It's so easy to get through. I bloody loved it just as much as reading it the second time. Because I'm reading it the second time because I want to reread the second one, ready to reread the third one. And I'm hopefully going to do that this week. So keep an eye out for the vlog. Then 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th this month, last month, whatever, I read Paper Girls Volume 1 to 4. Now I read the first 3 previously, and a lot of people describe this as a all-female Stranger Things. It's set in 1988, and well, that's when it starts off. And it's about 4 paper girls, and they're out on their round, and they run into a bit of trouble. And then there's a bit of time travel. There's organisations trying to do things. You don't know where to look, where to turn. You don't know who's the good guys, who's the bad guys. There's a lot. A lot happens, and the colouring, and the colours, and the art. I just love it. It was one of my first sort of forays into graphic novels, so I think that's why it really, really struck a chord with me, but I think I would have liked it anyway. The first one is the only one I've rated 4 stars, the rest are 5 stars, because it's a little confusing, and then the second one is also, that's a 5 stars, and it's good, but the third and the fourth one, they're just getting better and better and better. The third one I really enjoy. There's some really good themes that are starting to get brought up, and I'm really, really enjoying them, and with Paper Girls Volume 4, there was a lot of explanation in this, and I thought it was really, really good. It was like finally getting some explanation, and the themes that are starting to be developed, it's just wicked. I'm loving them. I can't believe I have to wait till December to get the 5th volume. I hope there's going to be many more, but I hope they just release them all at once, which I know is impossible. That's all I read. I read loads. I've had a good reading month. I read like really sporadically and then all at once. It was very all over the place. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's not been too boring for you. If you liked it, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.